In 1473, a Benedictine monk in a Bavarian monastery traced a single, precise dot onto parchment. He labeled it with 3 letters, SN. 472 years later, astronomers watched a star 7,000 light-years away detonate with the force of 10 billion suns. The coordinates match exactly. No one can explain how. The manuscript surfaces in 1968, buried in a Munich archive. Its proper name, Codex Palatinus Germanicus, 389. The monk was Gottfried of Heilsbronn. He was not an astronomer. He was a copyist. And yet his star chart contains 17 constellations that would not appear in European astronomical texts for another 2 centuries. Among them, a small cluster near Taurus, marked with a symbol reserved for catastrophic celestial events. The symbol appears nowhere else in medieval literature, until 1945. Carbon dating confirms the manuscript vellum, 1468 to 1476. The ink is iron gall standard for the period, but the star positions recorded in its pages do not match the sky of 1473. They match the sky of 1856. The monk drew constellations that had not formed yet. He recorded lunar eclipses that would not occur for 380 years. A graduate student named Elke Brennan stumbled across the anomaly while cataloguing medieval texts. She did not publish. She walked away. She still will not explain why. Deep in the manuscript's 4th section, Gottfried drew a 7-pointed star surrounded by concentric circles. Medieval astronomers used concentric circles to denote significance, not distance. Beside this symbol, a note in marginalia. When the 3rd star of the bull loses its light, the heavens will weep. The 3rd star of the bull is El Na. In 1054, a supernova appeared near El Nath, visible in daylight for 23 days. But Gottfried dated his chart 400 years after that event. He was writing about something else. The chart does not record the past. It projects the future. In 1975, the German Astronomical Society commissions a review. Dr. Heinrich Wilhelm of Heidelberg leads the team. Their conclusion: the manuscript represents either an extraordinary coincidence or a systematic fraud. The vellum cannot be younger than 1470. The ink contains no anachronistic compounds. The star positions are accurate to within 0.3 arc-seconds more precise than instruments available in the 15th century. The Society publishes a 6-page summary. It receives 2 citations in the next 30 years. Both are dismissive. The Codex is not alone. A second manuscript surfaces in 1989. The Voynich Codex, dated to 1420, contains a star chart that predicts the 1918 nova in Corona Borealis. A third document, recovered in 2001, shows a meteor shower that was not recorded until 1833. All 3 use identical notation systems. All 3 reference events beyond their authors' lifetimes. Dr. Martha Chen of MIT calls it a tradition of future-telling that we cannot dismiss and cannot explain. The academic response is silence. The dominant explanation is fraud, committed by an unknown forger with unprecedented astronomical knowledge and access to materials predating the Renaissance. This theory requires the forger to possess knowledge of stellar drift not formalized until 1850, understand supernova remnant expansion rates, and successfully deceive carbon dating laboratories across 3 continents. No motive has been proposed. No collaborator identified. No similar forgeries surfaced. The hoax theory explains the evidence as well as a square explains a circle. 3 details haunt the case. First, Gottfried's manuscript contains a marginal note explaining his methodology. He writes that he learned his star watching from travelers from the east who measured the sky in ways I do not understand. No one has investigated who these travelers might have been. Second, the supernova symbol appears beside a date written in a cipher. The cipher has never been broken. Third, in 1994, a Japanese research team calculated that the chart's predicted supernova would have been visible from Bavaria in 1945. The sky over Germany in April 1945 was not observed. What if the manuscripts are not forgeries? What if they are records transcribed from older sources that encoded astronomical data centuries or millennia before the events they predicted? Ancient Chinese astronomers maintained continuous sky records for over 2,000 years. Mesopotamian stargazers tracked comet paths with remarkable precision. Indigenous Australian oral traditions encode the timing of stellar events that occurred 5,000 years ago. Perhaps Gottfried was a copyist in the truest sense, transcribing knowledge he did not understand, from sources he never identified, for purposes he never explained. The ciphers predicted date April 1945 falls during a period of atmospheric disruption. The skies over Central Europe were obscured by industrial haze, smoke from burning cities, and deliberate blackout conditions. If a supernova had appeared near Taurus on the 15th of April 1945, it would have gone unnoticed by European observers. It would have been recorded only by the few functioning observatories in the Southern Hemisphere. No such records exist, unless they exist in archives we have not examined. The Codex remains in Munich, uncatalogued since 1987. Its cipher continues to resist analysis. The question is not whether Gottfried was right. The question is how he knew.